Hi, I'm Annie, and in this short video, we're going to be using some yoga flow to help strengthen the core. So we're going to begin by coming straight into a plank pose. So placing the hands underneath the shoulders, start to tuck the toes, knees underneath the hips, push the ground away and start to find a rounding of the upper back. So rather than hammocking into the chest, you're really switching on the whole of the upper body. Then as the toes are tucked, you push through the heels and start to lift the knees from the floor. So bringing the feet in relatively close towards each other, so you have this sense of the two legs coming together in one line. Rather than letting the chin drop down, just press the ground away and let the neck stay in line with the spine. So we're going to be holding here to switch on the core. If it gets a little intense, you can drop the knees to the floor. Tuck your tailbone slightly, squeeze your glutes, so squeeze your butt, and start to notice how that brings a little bit more intensity into the core. And breathe. Using breath in and out of the nose to deepen the connection to the abdominal muscles. Take a breath in, and then release the knees to the floor. Send your hips to your heels. Take a child's pose. Then tuck your toes, and use an exhale to find a downward facing dog. Inhale, come all the way forwards. Take a plank pose again. Push through the heels. Squeeze the inner thighs. Tuck the tailbone. Engage through the core. Going to be here for 5 more breaths. So every breath, find something else to switch on. So rooting through the hands, strengthening upper body, squeezing in through the lower abs. Take a breath in, a breath out, another breath in, then lower knees to the floor, hips to heels, child's pose. Take a breath in, come forwards, tabletop. And exhale back, downward facing dog. This time take a breath in through your nose and open the mouth, big sigh. Then begin to raise your right leg high. As you exhale, start slowly drawing the knee to the nose, round the spine, scooping through the navel. Take an inhale, raise the leg back. And exhale, same again, knee to nose. Shoulders over the wrist. This time hold it here, but take the knee across to the left elbow. Knee to the right elbow. Knee to the left elbow. And then back up behind you. Exhale, place the foot down to the floor. Make sure you keep the breath steady. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Scooping in tight, but inhale, lengthen through the leg. And exhale, same again. This time, inhale the knee to the right. Exhale back to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Keep the hips up. Inhale to the right. Exhale, take the leg back. Inhale all the way to the top. And exhale, place the foot to the floor. Inhale, come all the way forwards. Drop your knees. Hips to heels. Take a child's pose. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And open your mouth, let it go. Tuck your toes behind you. Downward facing dog. Bringing left hand to the center of the mat. Start to drop your heels to the left and reach your right arm to the sky. So option 1 is to drop the bottom knee to the floor. Option 2 is to step the front foot, the right foot to the front. Option 3 is to stack that right foot over the left and be here. Wherever you are, trying to really pick up the hips. So strengthen through the side of the body, strong breath. 3 more here. Squeeze the glutes. Use the support of the left shoulder around the back of the rib cage. And then place that right hand to the floor. You can either take a breather on the knees or stay on your high plank for a breath. And place right hand to the center. So your options again are bottom knee to the floor, 2 feet stacked, or the left foot in front. But wherever you are, you're really picking up the hips, using that right shoulder blade to support you here, so you're not hanging out into the shoulder joint or the wrist. Squeezing everything together, maybe flex the feet, try and find a little bit more lift. One more breath. Take an inhale. Exhale, come back to your high plank, option for child's pose or option to stay here. Take 2 more breaths. If you're in child's pose, come to meet us in plank. So we'll take a breath in through the nose and exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Let's take a little stretch through the core for a moment. So plant the hands and gently lift the chest. Just be mindful not to hang out into the lower back. Strengthen through the glutes a little bit. Take a breath in and lower down to the floor. And shuffle your hands underneath your shoulders. Send your toes back. We're going to use the strength of the lower back here to peel the chest away from the floor. So rather than pushing into the hands too strongly, think about sending the shoulders down the back, opening up the chest, and beginning to lift a little away from the floor. Take a breath in. Steady exhale. One more. And exhale, lower all the way down. Turn one ear to the mat. Take your hands back to your hips. So you can take the same variation or interlace the hands behind your back. Option to keep the lower body on the floor, or you can lift the legs as well as the torso. If your hands are behind your back, start to work the fist down towards the heels. So just the belly on the floor as you start to pick up the thighs, pick up the rib cage. Lengthen the back of the neck using the strength of the lower back. 2 more breaths. Take an inhale. And lower all the way down. This time opposite ear to the mat. Release the hands. Have a little shuffle of the hips from side to side. Placing hands underneath your shoulders, and just like we did before, take a little stretch of the abdomen. You can choose to come all the way up into an upward facing dog if that feels good. Maybe a little swing of the hips from side to side, as long as it's conscious and you're not kind of floating into the lower back. If you're unsure, keep the lower body down and just open up the front of the body with one last inhale. And exhale, push back, cross the ankles, and bring yourself onto your seat. Bring your knees into your chest and start to pick up from the backs of the thighs. Now, option 1 is to be here. Option 2, hands behind the back. Option 3 is to bring the hands parallel to the shins. And option 4 is from here to straighten the legs. I'm not going to do that one. So shoulders drop away from the ears. Make this really active. Take a breath in. As you exhale, begin to lower your body just an inch from the floor. Take an inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale to lower down. Really scooping in from the lower belly. Inhale to rise. And exhale to lower. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Stay with your breath. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, lower down and hold. Keep tucking the tailbone underneath, drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Take 2 more breaths. Keep the chest open. Take a breath in. And final breath to release your body down onto the ground. Maybe hug the knees into the chest. If that feels good on the lower back, have a little rock from side to side. And then slowly place your body back down to the ground. Release the backs of the hands. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And a big sigh to let it go. And then bring your knees back into your chest when you're ready. Start to rock and roll up and down the spine. And eventually coming all the way up to seated. Taking any stretches that feel good. Settling the seat, settling the breath. Perhaps feeling a little fire in the belly. Take a nice deep breath in. And decide to let it go. Namaste.